Hello everyone. Here is a third lecture on Introduction to Quantum Mechanics. So we will discuss on uncertainty principle. Before moving forward, here is a kind appeal for ignorance of alignments of text. Here is the topic: Heisenberg uncertainty principle. It is given in 1927 with the help of de Broglie's concept. And in this principle, it is said that talking about macroscopic system, macroscopic means a big system, then it is found that the position and the velocity of that system can be measured at the same time, means simultaneously with accuracy. So both can be measured accurately, position and momentum. But talking about the microscopic system means atoms or for electrons or any charged particles, then it is found that their position and momentum, or in other words velocity, cannot be measured with certainty at any instant of time. Means at the same time with certainty, they both cannot be measured simultaneously. So in other words, the product in the uncertainties or the position and momentum is equal to h upon 2 pi. If at any instant of time those uncertainties in the position and momentum are represented by delta x and delta p, then the product of them is equal to h upon 2 pi. H upon 2 pi is equal to h bar. This is given by Heisenberg's. But in exact form, it is in other words, it is said that the product of these two uncertainties must not be less than h bar by 2. In exact form. Let's see. In this principle, if delta p is higher, then delta x will be smaller, and vice versa. If it is higher, then it will be smaller. But finally, the product of these two will be equal to constant h upon 2 pi. So let's see in next slide how these two parameters are varied. These three sets of wave packets are shown here. Talking about the first one, here we can see it is coherent. There is no change in the wavelength. It is coherent wave packet. Wave packet means which is obtained by superposition of few waves. If the wavelength and velocity of all is same, then the wave packet can be obtained in this form also. Actually, we have discussed that wave packet is look like this one, but in this form can also be obtained, and this in this form as well as in this form. So for first one, the total length from here one end to counter end, the total length, it is equal to delta x. It shows the uncertainty in the position. Means particle can there is a probability to be found at this position, from this position to the counter end, till to counter end. So particle can be found anywhere in between these 2 points. It represents to uncertainty in position. But accordingly, we following a de Broglie's concept, we know that there is no change in the wavelength. See, between distance between two antinodes, or these are also known as crust. The same. Okay, same. Means if according to de Broglie's concept, we have lambda is same, means there is no change, means there is no change in the p. Means in this wave packet, delta x is higher, but delta p is negligible. Talking about the next one, here the uncertainty in the position is from this position to this position, shown here. But the wavelength, these two peaks, whatever may be, there is a change in that value, gradually change, okay, little bit change in the wavelength. The little bit change in the wavelength means there will be little bit change in the momentum, means uncertainty in the small uncertainty in the wavelength is here, then small uncertainty in the momentum is observed, but higher uncertainty in the position is found here, in this one also. Here uncertainty in the momentum is approximately nil, but here a little bit value is obtained. Talking about this one, uncertainty in the position is very small, but we can see there is a sudden reduce in the amplitude. So the distance between two peaks means the wavelength suddenly reduced. In other words, there is a large change in the wavelength, means there is higher uncertainty in the wavelength, so momentum uncertainty will also be large here. Okay, so uncertainty means the finding probability. See here, particle can be found here, anywhere in between these 2 points, anywhere you don't know, means there is an uncertainty. Similarly, momentum uncertainty means velocity, since momentum p equal to m into v, so there is a uncertainty in the velocity. So we have to see how much uncertainty is can be found here. So by correlating with wavelength, there is small variation in the wavelength, small variation in the momentum or in velocity. Here large variation in the wavelength, so the large variation is also observed in velocity, in other words momentum. I think you have been understood about the variation of these two parameters. So let's move next. The Heisenberg uncertainty principle is also expressed into other terms. At first term, energy and time. How delta x and delta p can be expressed in terms of delta E and delta T, where E represents to energy and T represents to time. Hence, in terms of energy and time, Heisenberg uncertainty is also expressed in terms of angular momentum and angular position. It is also expressed. Let us see how these two transform principles are obtained. We know that if a particle's velocity is given by v equal to delta x upon delta t, it's also explained given in terms of dx upon dt also, but here delta term is needed to express the uncertainty because of we took delta x upon delta t is here. So delta x equal to v into delta t here. Means we have to find delta x and delta p in terms of energy, in terms of time and energy. So as again we know that the kinetic energy is expressed by half mv square. By taking partial differentiation, delta partial differentiation is expressed by a symbol delta or d, depending on the need of the derivation. Here delta E is shown, delta E, half m are constants kept outside, and v square is differentiated, partial differentiated, so we have 2v and delta v. The v square is differentiated, partial differentiated, 2v delta v, 2 is cancelled, we have mv delta v. Delta v is kept with m, so m into delta v is equal to delta p. Delta p represents the uncertainty in the momentum, v is kept outside. We have to transform delta p in terms of energy, therefore v is divided or shifted to the other side. So delta p equal to delta E upon v. Okay, so we have found delta x in terms of time, delta p in terms of energy. So by substituting these two values in the previous one equation, so delta x equal to v delta t, delta p equal to delta E upon v is kept here, v cancel, then we have delta E delta t. Since delta x delta p is equivalent to h bar, therefore delta E and delta t as a product of them will also be equal to h bar. But in more accurate form manner in terms of this equation. In second terms, delta x delta p are transformed into delta j delta phi. Before to find this one, let us discuss about the circular motion and rotational motion. If a particle is in the circular motion, the radius of r represents the radius of circular path, and delta is if particle moves from point A to point B, then or by traversing a curvilinear path by a displacement or distance delta x s by subtending angle delta theta, this is called angular displacement. Okay, a change in the angular position. So delta theta is equal to delta s. We know that delta s upon r. Delta theta equal to delta s upon r. This is called change in the angular position. In our derivation, delta theta is replaced by phi, s is replaced by x in this derivation. So with the help of this one, we have delta phi, delta s, x upon r. So delta phi is representing to the angular change in the angular position in terms of delta x r. We're talking about the rotational motion. If a particle is in rotational motion related to a rotational axis, r with the radius of path, p represents the linear momentum, and omega with the angular velocity, then perpendicular the directions of the radial position and the linear momentum, there is a physical parameter which is represented by angular momentum is equal to r vector cross product p. So direction of L means angular momentum will be perpendicular to both particle position related to the rotational axis and to the linear momentum. Since L equal to r p sine this is a vector product, so by removing that one we will have L equal to r p sine theta. So if both are perpendicular, then theta sine theta at place we have 90 and sine 90 will be equal to 1. So we have L equal to rp. So in our derivation, L is replaced by j. So j equal to rp, or delta j will be equal to r delta p. R delta p. So again, angular position equal to displacement upon r. So delta x is obtained, r into delta phi, and delta j equal to r delta p. So delta p equal to delta j upon delta j upon r. So by substituting delta p and delta x in this equation, we have delta x r delta phi and delta p delta j upon r. R will be cancelled. So this these two terms are replaced by these two terms. So by replacing these two, again we have this equation. This is also called uncertainty principle, an exact from this one. So the uncertainty principle in terms of delta x and delta p is transformed into energy and uncertainty in the measurement of time and energy, and uncertainty in the measurement of angular position and angular position and angular momentum. So if we have delta x delta p, then can be easily transformed into delta e delta t and delta j delta p. Let's see about the derivation. Since we are talking about the uncertainty in the position and velocity. Velocity means momentum. So there is need to be discussed about the wave packet. Wave packet means a group of waves. By the superposition of few waves, a wave packet is obtained, as we have already been seen in the previous lecture 2. So here, by considering two waves and after superposition, we obtain a wave packet. Let two waves of wavelengths lambda 1 and lambda 2, angular frequencies omega 1 and omega 2, and propagation constants are k1 and k2. As we know that angular velocity is expressed by 2 pi nu represents to frequency, and propagation constant is equal to 2 pi upon lambda. So first one in the subscript 1 is kept, the talking about the second wave, and the subscript 2 is kept. And these are the displacement equations of both waves. When A represents to the maximum amplitude, both have same maximum amplitude, it is a constant, and sine omega 1 t minus k1x similarly for second. And after superposition of these two waves, means by adding these two displacements equations, we have the total displacement which it represents to a wave packet. It is equal to the sum of these two terms. By taking comma small a, we will have sine this one plus sine this one. So if the terms are in bracket is equal to a, if we assume, and here as a capital B, then by applying a trigonometric function sine a plus sine b, that is equal to sine a plus b by 2 cos a minus b by 2. So that we'll have to apply that equation here. Sine a plus b sine a plus b, a plus b by 2 means these two terms will be added, divided by 2, t is kept outside, minus is kept here, and k1 plus k2 upon 2 x is common in both terms, so that is kept outside. So we have this term sine a plus b by 2, and as a factor cos a minus b. A minus b means omega 1 minus omega 2 by 2 t, and minus k1 minus k2 by 2x. Cos is kept in front of sine, and we have this one. It represents to the amplitude of a wave packet, this term. Again, these parameters are replaced by other parameters. We consider that the difference is equal to delta omega. Difference between propagation constants is equal to delta k. The mean of omega 1 and omega 2 is equivalent to omega, and the mean of the propagation constants is kept equal to k. So here it will be k omega and delta omega by 2 delta k by 2n. Finally, in this form we obtain the displacement equation for a wave packet. It represents to the total amplitude, resultant amplitude of a wave packet. If anything is needed to be discussed about the wave packet, okay, we have to be considered by considering this term. If it is constant, then within the bracket these terms, the difference between the difference of these two terms will also be constant. So here this is a wave packet. The total wavelength is from this point to this point is shown. The half is shown by lambda m by 2. Subscript m is used for wave packet, and here delta k by 2 is equal to km, propagation constant of the wave packet, and we know that km equal to, or k equal to 2 pi upon lambda, or in terms of m is kept at subscripts here. So km equal to pi upon lambda m. Since in a wave packet from this point to this point is represents to the total uncertainty in the position, not from this to this position. Since here the displacement becoming the displacement, or we can say that the vertical displacement becoming similar to this one. So half cycle is completed here. Therefore, from here to here is considered as a uncertainty in the position. So delta x will be equal to lambda m by 2, and lambda m equal to 2 pi upon km, and km equal to delta k by 2. 2 will be cancelled. This 2 will be cancelled. So 2 pi and delta k is cross multiplied to delta x, and we have delta x delta k equal to 2 pi. Now to find delta m at place of delta k, we know there is need to find few further terms. We know the propagation constant equal to 2 pi upon lambda, and according to de Broglie concept, lambda equal to h upon p, or p will be transformed into a numerator, so 2 pi p upon h. So k equal to 2 pi p upon h, where p represents the momentum. So by taking the partial differentiation, we have delta k equal to delta p 2 pi upon h will be remained as a factor. Upon h will remain as a factor. So we have delta k equal to this term. By substituting this value here, we have delta x. By substituting here 2 pi upon h, delta p equal to 2 pi. So 2 pi will be cancelled, and h will be cross multiplied here. So we have delta x, delta p equal to h, which is known as a Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. By following a rigorous mathematical calculation, we can also find that left hand side will be equal must be greater than or equal to h bar by 2. It is also called the Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Next, once again, let's see. By considering two waves, a wave displacement of wave packet is taken, is obtained here, where it represents the total amplitude and it represents the propagation constant of wave packet and angular frequency of wave packet. Because of it is kept equal to km, propagation constant of wave packet, and km equal to this one, and the half of the wave packet is considered as lambda m by 2 is considered as uncertainty in the position, which is equal to lambda m by 2, and by substituting the values of lambda m and delta km, it is transformed into this form. K is expressed in terms of p, and it is obtained in terms of delta p, and by substituting this value here, we obtain this one, and finally it is stated that by following rigorous mathematical calculation, it can also be expressed in this way. So derivation is not too difficult. So let's see the numerical problems based on this principle. And the first numerical problem, velocity is given with 0.01% uncertainty. Here misprinted, uncertainty will be here. So uncertainty in the velocity is given. Find the uncertainty in the measurement. So uncertainty velocity is given and uncertainty is given in the velocity. So let's we will with the help of this one, we know if we have momentum, then delta x can be obtained. So first of all, we will try to find momentum. V equal to m into v. Electron is considered. This is the mass of electron and its velocity. So this value is obtained. P equal to this one means uncertainty with 0.01% uncertainty is given. Means so delta P will be equal to the momentum multiplied by uncertainty. So 0.01%. By removing percent, 100 will be divided by. Then finally we have delta P equal to this one, and with the help of this principle, by substituting delta P, delta X is obtained here. And the usual parameters are kept here. Planck's constant y is kept equal to 3.14. Finally we obtain in terms of 10 power minus 5 meter. So velocity is given, uncertainty in the velocity is given, position is required. So with the help of velocity, momentum is obtained, and then uncertainty in the momentum is obtained, and by following this one, uncertainty in the position is obtained. In the next numerical, electron is kept inside a box of length. Calculate the minimum uncertainty in its velocity. If an electron is kept inside a box, means that can reside anywhere inside a box, so it represents the maximum uncertainty in the position. So next we have to calculate the minimum uncertainty in the velocity. So if delta x is maximum, delta p will be minimum, and delta p will be minimum h upon 2 pi delta x. These values are kept. Delta x was given 10 power minus 9. So by keeping that value in this equation, we have delta m minimum. So delta p minimum means Delta P is expressed by m delta V minimum. So P is minimum, then velocity will also be minimum. And by dividing by m, we found delta V minimum in the order of 10^5 meter per second. So particle kept inside a box of length. So maximum uncertainty in the position. If it is max, delta P will be minimum. Delta P minimum, delta V minimum will be equal to this. In the next numerical, uncertainty in the position of a moving particle is equal to the wavelength associated. So delta x equal to lambda. Uncertainty in the position, wavelength associated. Show that the uncertainty in the velocity is equal to this one, 1 by 2 pi times of its velocity. Uncertainty in the velocity. So delta x is given, uncertainty in the position of moving particle is equal to wavelength. So this one is given, and lambda equal to h upon mv according to de Broglie concept. So delta x is kept here, delta p will be found. So delta p is again kept m delta v, and delta x value of this one is kept here, and equal to h upon 2 pi. After simplification, we have delta v equal to 1 by 2 pi, which is asked to find. Show that the uncertainty in its velocity, means delta v, is equal to 1 by 2 pi times of its velocity, 1 by 2 pi times its velocity. So it is found. Next, calculate the time for an atomic system for which the system can have excitation energy. For lifetime is needed to be calculated. For a spectral line, excitation energy for the spectral line of width. The spectral line of width is given for a wavelength. A wavelength spectra of wavelength, this one, and width is given. Means delta lambda is given and lambda is given. So we have to calculate delta t. So with the help of lambda and delta lambda, we try to find delta E. And by following the delta E, delta t equal to h bar, we will calculate delta t. So we know that delta lambda is given, width of a spectral line, lambda is given. We know that E equal to h nu equal to c upon lambda. So by substituting here hc upon lambda, by differentiating, delta E equal to hc are constants. So 1 by lambda is differentiated. So 1 by lambda equal to minus 1 by lambda square delta lambda. So minus is not considered here, magnitude is taken. 1 by lambda means minus 1 by lambda square delta lambda. Minus is not taken. By substituting the value of delta lambda and lambda h into c, we can find delta E, which is not obtained here. In the similar manner, without substituting, that is kept in the final equation. But we can find the value of delta E is here, and by following the uncertainty principle, delta E is calculated. If we have already been calculated here, by direct substituting here, we can have delta T. That is in the order of delta 10^-8 second. So with the help of the transform principles, this numerical problem is solved. So in this lecture, we have understood the reason behind in the uncertainty in the position and momentum, and at different situations how one may be the higher, one may be the smaller. So by all the points have been discussed, and transformations equations are also been discussed, and by after derivation, the numerical problems have also been understood. I hope you understood this topic. Thank you all.